wake up this whole house with my screams. Need to pet my support Lala. Okay. We have already caused enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. All we can do for now is make our report to Lucia, and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come. Sag. We mustn't forget to send some of our allies to Tapper's Den. We still owe them for the bottle of ceruleum. Oh, Alfino! Would you mind giving Lucia a full report? Oh, Alfino, I give you a hug. Oh. Treatment of the tempered is proceeding as well as can be expected. If there is anything to report, you will be sure to know. Though I gather you have a report of your own to deliver. Is something the matter? The twins look out of sorts, and you too seem a bit off. Forgive me for saying, but the three of you appear rather drained since your return. Is there aught I might do to be of assistance? Alessay and Alfino tell me they've finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrain from saying much more than that. Clearly they are reluctant to provide details. May I ask for your account?
一切承知した。
Damn.
各隊に共有し、生存者を発見した場合の対応について、より慎重を期してもらおう。
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
臣の報奨で眠っている方々については、後ほど私が保護に向かいます。
Yeah, that might be
頼みま
best.
す。力ギアたちのことについても伝えられそうだったらどうか包み隠さずに。
Damn. Damn.
申し訳ない。キコーラに辛い思いをさせてしまったな。
Oh.
辛かったのは私たちじゃないわ。でもありがとう。大丈夫だから他のみんなの状況を教えてもらえる？
だったら私から。今しがたルキアたちにも報告したのだけれど、九段の民衆派のテンパード化を直すことができたわ。
Awesome.
彼らから話を聞けたおかげで少しは見えてきたわよ。知っての通り、バリス帝が急逝した後、新皇帝に名乗りを上げたネルワとそれに反対する人々によって内戦が引き起こされたの。
Right, understandable.
帝都を舞台としてネルワ派である第三軍団と反対派の主格である第一軍団が激戦を繰り広げたわ。
だけど普通なら自分たちの都で戦ったりしない。それは森に住まう者が木々を汚すのと同じ。誰にとっても忌むべき行いだ。なのに戦の火の手が上がってしまったのは、きっかけがあれば弾けてしまうほど敵意や怒りが蓄えられていたかららし
Dang,
い。
the capital became a bloodbath then.
貴公はギムリトでの戦いを覚えているだろうか。あの時バリス帝は早々に戦場から退いた。皇太子ゼノスは死亡しており、異形が肉体を操っている。そんな噂が流布されたことで、聖敵であるティトゥスとその息子ネルワが非難を強めてきたからだ。
実際エリリブスがゼノスの体を操っていた頃よね。
Or close proximity, yeah, true.
ああ。だが、ティトゥスたちによる糾弾は真実にたどり着くことなく、早急に収束してしまった。運動の主角だった者たちが次々と消えていったからだ。左遷された者だけでなく、不可解な急死を遂げた者までいたらしい。
Wonder if Fandaniel had to do something about it.
おそらくエリディブスがうまく立ち回ったのでしょうね。いずれの件もバリス帝が直接関与したという証拠はなかった。だとしても得しているのが誰かを考えれば、ティトゥスとネルは彼らの要する第三軍団がバリス帝による粛清だと捉えたのは無理からぬ話よ。
Right.
そうして彼らが怒りを募らせる中でバリス帝が暗殺された。
And that would have made it way more complicated.
実行犯として名が上がったのはガイウスたちよ。けれど 直後にネルワが行為の後継者に名乗り出たことで、バリステの直属だった第一軍団はティトゥス・ネルワ派が仕掛けたクーデターだと捉えたの。
互いに先に剣を振り上げてきたのは相手だと考えていたわけだね。
Right.
加えてどちらにもそのタイミングで多額の資金提供があった。双方今戦えば相手を潰せるという目論みだったでしょう。
Oh, Van Daniel.
第三軍団にブルトゥス家からお金が流れてるって話は前に聞いたと思うけれど、第一軍団にも？
そして民衆派が調べたところによれば、いくらかの組織を経由してはいたものの、第一軍団に資金を
All
流
had
したのも
connections.
ブルトゥス家だっ
Dang.
たようです。
So if they just dug a little bit deeper, they would have seen.
ファダニエル、朝日になりすました彼に両軍団とも乗せられたのか。
Yep. They're finally getting
そ
caught
う
up
し
on
て
what we
戦闘
know.
が始まり、数日が過ぎた夜のこと、治療した民衆派の同志によれば、爆発のような衝撃を感じたと。
Tremor. Tremor? Wait, wasn't there something earlier that... talking about a tremor? They talked about something preceding back in Kryle's route. Something preceding... what was the thing? Calamity. Preceding a calamity, there would be a tremor. Oh no, they would hear a sound? Was it a tremor or was it like a cracking sound?
そこで記憶が途切れ、マグナ・グラキエスで我々と戦ったことも全く覚えていないそうです。
They have no memories.
魔道場を改築したことについては、夢の中でバリステの命令を受けた気がすると言っています。
Oh! That's why they all say glory to Garlemald.
ガレマールの意向を世界に示さん。
By the Tower of Babels.
バブイルの塔を築き上げよ。
Oh, so this was the Tower of Babel.
いないはずのバリスの声。
Yep, like the Tower of Zot.
君たちにも見てもらいたいものがある。実は
このラジオからバリステの声が録音されたものでないとしたら確かに不可解ですね。
Unless someone is...
あら、同意見のようね。
もらったゴフとその装置に使われている鉱石、すごく似たエーテルを帯びているように感じるんだ。
Wait, the aether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the Talith. What?
私にもそう見えるわ。意図してはいないでしょうけれど、その装置でもある程度はエーテル放射を遮断できるのではないかしら。
So people who have the radio are...
だとしたら、そうね。さっきの話にあった爆発のような衝撃を感じた夜に、ガレマルド一帯にエーテル放射があった。多くの人は精神汚染を受けたけれど、ラジオのそばで戦況を聞こうとしていた人だけが助かった。
That's
なんて真相だったのかもしれ
crazy!
ないわ。
That makes sense. And then the song that's continually playing over and over again. Is that by design? Or is that a coincidence?
だからリキニアたちはこれを。
Did they know? They didn't know. There's no way they knew. Uh-oh.
お話中すみません。
Uh-oh. Yes? What happened?
警備中に私たちが運び込んだ物資を持ち出そうとしている帝国兵らしき方を見つけました。テンパードではないみたいです。
Okay.
戦いになりかけたのですが、マグナイさんがどうにか止めてくれて、今は外で待機してもらっています。
Oh boy.
行ってみよう。
彼が
Are you familiar? What?
恥知らずの売国どめ。
Oh gosh.
ルキア・ユニウス、イシュガルドの神殿騎士だ。機構は
ユルスピル・ノルバヌス。それ以上侵略者にくれてやる情報はない。
我々がここにいる目的は侵略ではないことをまずご理解いただきたい。エオルゼアおよび東方諸国はテロフォロイと名乗る者たちが招いた混乱と戦っている。ガレマルドの民も同じだろう。故に苦境に抗う同胞として貴公らを支援しに来た。 そのために結成された有志の派遣団なのだ。
They're not gonna hear this. We have to prove with actions.
わかった。私たちを受け入れられないならそれでいい。ただ一つ確認させてくれ。ちゃんと生きていく当てはあるのか。幽国の軍人である貴公が盗みを選んだほどだ。
True.
相当に逼迫した事態だとお見受けする。
Don't got a good
必
comeback
要
to
な
that.
ものがあれば伝えてほしい。押し付けられたとでも奪ってやったとでも思ってもらって構わない。
お前たちとの関わり方を決めるのは俺じゃない。俺の上官だ。
Commander?
だから上官と直接話をしてもらう。代表者を出せ。多くても3人までだ。
No more than 3. Okay, so I'm included in that, obviously.
どうしたものかしらね。乗るって言うなら私たちで。
よければ私とアリゼンに行かせてくれないだろうか。
They do it the most. I'm so scared for these two. They're like...
あなたたち。
ガレマルドの人々にとっては命と未来をかけた選択なんだ。私たちもちゃんと同じものをかけよう。
Okay, as long as I get to protect you. You don't leave my side.
今度は来ていいって言ってくれてるわけでしょ。願ったり叶ったりだわ。
What would your mother say if I let you two go by yourselves? Bruh, is this why we met her, their mother?
貴公がそういうのであれば異論を唱えるのはやめよう。くれぐれもよろしく頼む。
As long as I get to that, it sounded so sweet. I'm so protective of them. If anything happens to them, I swear.
子供2人に傭兵風情か。侮られたものだな。
Excuse me, I am not just your average sellsword, okay?
そちらこそ侮らないでいただきたい。彼らは十分すぎるほど我々を代表するに足る者たちだ。
俺たちの拠点まではしばらく歩く。武器は返してもらうぞ。
Julius, said your farewells, have you? Not yet. Perhaps it is unwise to volunteer for a mission so soon after the previous disaster. Nevertheless, I shall not squander this opportunity. I know. This won't bring back Lucinia or her sister. Taking the same risks, making the same mistakes. It's possible, but better to try than to give up, every time. We captured the boy as he was about to make off with our food. He must be very hungry to take such risks. Maybe we should give him something to eat, reward him for his boldness. Aw, Serena. Julius Pyre Norbanus. It is unusual for one so young to achieve such a high rank. Very unusual. His uniform identifies him as a member of the First Legion, which has a particularly fierce reputation. Whoever his superior may be, I advise you to approach them with caution. Okay, okay. They are resilient in the face of hardship, you as well. But good intentions and stubborn determination alone will not be enough to bring our mission to a successful conclusion. Be on your guard, of course. I worry they were not in the best state of mind to volunteer for this undertaking. But what's done is done. I know you will take good care of them, and yourself as well, I trust. Several of the Temple Knights are off on a reconnaissance at present. We Ishgardians have seen our fair share of frost in the past years, so we are more than ready for this icy bout. The Hrothgar from Bosja, on the other hand, are having a devil of a time adjusting to these chilly climes. The warming stones we lent them seem to have helped, though. You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourself accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence above all else, remember this. Thancred in particular will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fury watch over and keep you. Oh, Thancred? Really? Where is Thancred? No use taking in all these Garleans. If we're going to let them freeze to death, we need heat, for goodness sake. And I know we should have brought more warming tinctures. So first he tries looting from us, now he's inviting you to his headquarters. That's one way of saving his skin. Ha! Maybe he should try taking a leaf out of the Admiral's book, like that time she came barging into the Astelcia ready for anything we bloody executioners could throw at her. Takes nerves of steel to face your enemy head on like that. Might get you killed, but it's better than sneaking about like some bilge rat. Hello, Guide-a-lot. I love the fact that they're all here. I'm rather looking forward to hearing the songs of our comrades' homelands. I love a rousing melody no matter where it's from. Once the Garleans have found both their strength and their footing again, I shall ask to hear a song of their people, one that conjures visions of home. The Tempered are being treated here. Some of the allied nations' best conjurers are tending to them, but it does not seem like everything is progressing smoothly. What's more, some of the Garleans are prone to violent outbursts from time to time, caused by their condition, which is why we're here. The lowly task of keeping watch over provisions would not normally befit the sun, but these being unusual circumstances, I will let no man take that which is not by rights theirs. Are you and the children ready? I'll explain the route once we are outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. Where do you think their headquarters are? I assume there are a few others beside him and his commander he mentioned. We'll do only as instructed. After all, this is what we have been striving for ever since we arrived. All right, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead, I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm Alice. He's Alfino, and last but not least, there's Zordia. Zordia? Where have I heard that before? No matter. Alfino and Alice will watch the road ahead, while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter. Run towards the station. If you even think of going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Once you choose to depart, Julius will accompany you. Alfino and Alice will begin moving toward the destination. Make your way to... Okay, without falling behind. If you leave Julius behind for any reason or lose sight of Alfino and Alice, you may try again by return... Damn it! Another one? Ready to make a dash for the station. Yes. Over the hill, right? This must be the road he mentioned. If we follow this, it should lead us to the station. I love the fact that there are quests like this now. No, not the easiest surface to run on. Julius, don't fall behind, please. That's the station there. That's the station, I presume. I'm going over here, because I don't want that thing to see me. So I feel like it doesn't see NPCs, but it sees me. We're here, I think. It's nothing like the ones in Thanlan. Huh. This is it, the first stop, that is. Good, it looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No, we're stopping here to check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept to your side of the bargain, we can carry on. I wonder what sort of conditions Julius and his comrades are living in. If they've any sense, they'll have picked somewhere like Victor's Spoils to take shelter. It's probably gonna be better than that, I bet. We're getting closer to the Imperial Palace. If one can still call it that, it truly is a terrifying sight to behold. North of the station is Regio Domorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They'll tear us to shreds if given the chance. Keep close, no wandering off, understood? From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen. Aye, they spare their own, but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you are to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. With that said, let us proceed. Here we go. God damn it! We're perfectly capable of holding our own. We must stay alert. You didn't do anything. I see why your comrades chose you. Julius, our contingent has a cure for the afflicted, or tempered as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? For all I know, your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They are beyond saving. Those who thought differently and tried to reason with them were butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. Damn, it's gonna suck when they realize that they could have saved their loved ones that they murdered. Kinda like how he killed all of the beast men for... yeah, the runaway train. Oh, Alphinaud's really trying to find a way to connect. I hate to watch you bear this burden alone. This burden? What burden? I got this, LSA. Looks like we were not being followed. We will continue onward. He truly believes there's nothing that can be done for them. No wonder he isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. The surest way to limit casualties is to reach out our destination without drawing attention to ourselves. Perhaps afterwards we can try again to convince Julius that the Tempered can be saved. This was someone... You see these? Julius? You see these people? They had families. They had families, Julius. They had families. How dare you? Hey, French fry. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered, and that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. You're gonna kick yourself in the butt when you find out that they can be saved. What are those? What are they? What is that? Tempered Imperial. These are Imperials? Bro. Such a transformation is likely irreversible. Damn. To think they were once ordinary people. Look at what they have become. Would you still stand there and claim that they can be cured? Those exposed to a vast quantity of a primal's aether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you have seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. Can I slap this guy? That's not what Alfie... Even here in the outskirts, it's plain to see how vastly different Garlemald is compared to other cities. Though I wish there was another way, I thank you for keeping us from harm. We're almost there. You have kept your side of the agreement, so I'll keep mine this way. This is the Tertium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I will be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. Ah, so it is underground. Theodora. She clearly has no intention of speaking with you. Okay? I mean, that's fair, but at the same time, like, okay. Damn. Dude, this reminds me of 15. This totally reminds me of 15. The subway going underneath here. I had no idea they had such expansive structures built underground. The Aetherite looks cool. It's plain to see why they chose this as the base of operations. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, if Julius was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, our own supplies must be all but exhausted. I think I misread that. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it is still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as my guests, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in the locomotive over there. The train! Why? This is giving me like big Final Fantasy VIII vibes. And we have Alice here, who created Angelo. He certainly looks the part. Now comes the true test. Oh! He looks familiar. Why does he look familiar? Maybe I've seen him in like someone else's, someone posts on Twitter.
という次第で代表者3名を連れてまいりました。
事情は理解した。
Dude, that voice!
ならば話をさせてもらうとしよう。
はっ。こちらがこの拠点を統括しているお方。
Music.
我ら第一軍団が軍団長クイントゥス・バン・キンナ様だ。
Quintus Van Sina. Do they pronounce it Kina or Sina? Because Sina, I automatically think of Final Fantasy IX.
第一軍団のご無事でいらっしゃったのですか？
Alfie. Manners.
主を失い、都を失い、兵の大半を失った。この身ももはや
Oh
一
shoot.
気当
So
選
he's
の働き
super
を
wounded.
向上することはできぬ。
He must have been by the
無事と
radio.
はほど遠いわ。もっともそちらにとっては好都合であろうがな。
They pronounce it Kina. Okay.
ご気分を害してしまったのならお詫び申し上げます。ですが私たちに敵意はありません。
I know, but what you call it, they don't pronounce it in English sometimes the same way they pronounce it in Japanese. Like Ishtala is not Ishtala. It's Yashtala in Japanese. And there are certain other names that are a little bit different in pronunciation from English to, like Lise is not Lise in Japanese, it's Lise. And that's one of the bigger ones. So that's why I had to ask how they say it in English.
若いな。敵意などなくとも利害が生じる限り人は殺し合えよう。我らガレアンは豊かに実る故郷を追われた。この極北においてもなお多民族の侵攻に耐えねばならなかった。
I mean, that was before.
魔導兵器は革新的なものであったが、あれもまた主勢にとどまっていれば奪われていたことだろう。ゆえにソル艇もバリス艇もハントの拡大を掲げ、より強い帝国を目指したのだ。
True. I mean,
お
that's
っしゃ
fair.
ることはごもっともです。それでも私は人を動かすのは利害のみではないと若輩ながらに見てまいりました。今回の件にしてもテロフォロイの脅威を前に力を合わせたいという打算がないわけではありませんが、何よりもあなた方が必要としているのならば協力したいと思った。それでこちらへ伺ったのです。
Aw.
お前の言葉を疑いはせぬ。だが前線の兵がどれだけ義勇に駆られようが、国家は善意などでは動かない。
The
そ
benefit.
こに益なくば国をなす民を守れぬからだ。
Well, the benefit is actually because you guys have towers all over the world, and the benefit would be us protecting the world and get the towers out of our freaking countries.
仮に派遣団からの支援を受ければ、眼前の脅威が去った後に必ず対価を要求されるだろう。
So he knows about the Teleforoi.
ガレマール帝国は英語、諸外国に頭を押さえつけられ、額の第三の目は飼い犬の象徴とのそしりを受けよう。
It'll be hard to change that.
そんなことをしようとしたら私は止める。他にも異を唱える人はいるはずよ。良い世界を望む心も決して絶やせないものだから。って言えるのは私が実際にそういう人たちと出会ってきたからなんでしょうね。あなたにはざれ言にしか聞こえないかもしれないわ。だから信じてとは言わない。まずはあなたが望むかどうかだけ聞かせてください。
不幸を誰かに押し付けるのではなく、皆で乗り越えようとする世界を 模索していけないでしょうか。
True.
ガレアンの人々と我々でそんな未来への一歩を踏み出せはしないでしょうか。
では逆に問おう、若き異国の民よ。調和を望むのであればなぜガレマールによる世界統治を受け入れなかった。
Because you guys enslaved people.
我らがお前たちの神を信じなかったからか。我らとお前たちの形が違うからか。
That's not why.
お前たちと異なる理想を法を掲げ、異なるものを愛するからか。
No.
そうだとも。不和は争いを生み、調和の先に自由はない。誰もを幸福にできる道などないのだ。
It's hard to change someone's opinions on issues like this.
なれば
Because
我
this is his
らガ
reality.
レアン
That's their
は
reality.
最後まで自由と誇りのために争おう。私の望みはそれだけだ。話はもう良いな。むやみに危害を加えたりはせぬ。ただ、我々のなすべきことが決まるまで、しばし身柄を
On both
預からせ
sides,
てもらお
yes.
う。
Both sides did.
抵抗はしません。しかし滞在する間、ここにいる人々と話をさせていただきたい。
よかろう。どのみちこの寒さでは閉じ込めたが最後、翌朝には通したいだ。それでは何の価値もない。
Okay, what's the condition?
この者たちに首輪を。
Oh, are we given shock collars? Great. I don't like it on the twins!
これは
I do know about this. I don't like it on the twins.
お前たちには監視をつける。我々の意に沿わぬ行動をとった場合、相応の苦痛を味わうことになるだろう。
I don't like this. We're not gonna disobey you guys. But seriously, I don't want to see them
待て。
shocked.
それには近寄るな。
Keep away from that one.
九段のエオルゼアの英雄だ。
Heh.
お前たちではそれ自身は封じられまい。妙な動きをするようであれば、双子の装置を作動させる。
No, do not even. Bruh. Happy expansion, huh? The pressure.
私たちなら大丈夫だ。
こんなの忘れちゃうくらいみんなと楽しく話しましょう。
Cute. I swear. Anything happens to the twins, I'm
な
gonna.
お言うか。何がお前たちをそこまで駆り立てる。
Because even the most bitter adversary may one day see reason. On the coldest, blackest of nights, meager though it may be, we must share the warmth of our fire. What?
わからぬな。名だたる軍団を壊滅せしめた悪鬼でさえ、かような夢見事を吐くか。連れて行け。
Thanks, Hoppy. I
お前
appreciate
が監
that.
視役だ。
He's like, me? What, me? How dare Endwalker smack me in the face like that? How dare it? If anything happens to the twins, I swear. I swear. I have to remind myself not to touch it. Even if it starts to itch, I'd rather not set it off by accident. Anyway, enough about that. Let's learn what we can from the refugees. It will take more than trifles such as this to deter us. Compared to what Garlemald's people have suffered in recent days, these colors are a minor inconvenience. Alphino's so sweet. Alphino's too sweet. Are you gonna talk to me now? While everything above ground is in complete ruins, this station has so far escaped more or less unscathed. It's far from the ideal place to live, but I'd prefer to take my chances down here than up there. I long for the day you breathe your last. Ceruleum and other necessary materials are in short supply. I'm not sure how long we can last on the stores we have. I mean, you have some people, although they are not Garleans, that can do that for you if you just communicate, you know? And talk things over and work together, but so cold. As per Lord Quintus's instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here in Teritium. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars, nor would I tell you if I did. And if you are trying anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. So do you truly intend to speak with the others, or was that merely a ruse? We are in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean. Or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars would be the least of your worries, understood? Although we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation, and above else, don't use magic of any sort. You, on the other hand, may go wheresoever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphino and LSA will pay the price. Came with Julius, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you'd best keep your hands off that aetherite. It's deactivated, and rather you didn't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, built by Garleans, for Garleans. Could teleport all over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the aetherite's power to keep this place lit, though that comes at the cost of its normal function.
Where's Daddy? Did he?
You mustn't worry, darling. I'm sure he managed to escape just like we did. I know who you are, Zordia Doom, champion of Eorzea, yes. Our orders are to give you the run of our encampment, but I have my eye on you. So what business do you have with me? You know about yourself. I am Decimus, Centurion of the First Legion. It's my sworn duty to defend Garlemald from barbarians such as you, and your very presence here is an affront to my honor. Can we like get along? This radio is the same model as the one used at Victor's spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. Yep, probably. I know who you are, the so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. By the blood of our fallen compatriots, I swear I'll... Ugh. Damn. Tore the sutures. Of all the times, the worst of the lot. Within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the... I was about to say Illard. If it weren't for the third bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. Virgilia's treachery nearly lost Lord Quintus his life, but we made our escape, took shelter in a mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then... Night fell, and we gathered around the radio. Then the roar, and the terrible roar. The capital was in chaos, but we were spared. If you can call this a mercy, mind intact but body broken, a soldier in name alone. I'd cut you down where you stand if I could, murderer. Technically, you guys aren't innocent either, but so cold. This young soldier is on the verge of losing consciousness. It's you, Zordia Doom. I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night that the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them, my comrades, my friends, swept them aside in their dozens, as though they were nothing to you. And maybe I am too, just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve, mark my word. Damn. Me doing MSQ roulette every single day. That hit hard, man, that hit hard. I've made my position quite clear. Do not test my patience. So cold and probably hasn't had a proper meal in days. If only we'd brought some food with us, but perhaps I could use a little magic. No, I mustn't. Gods, this is so frustrating. Did you learn anything of note? Then your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? Who's there? My eyes, they can't see all that well. Ah, thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. But I know it won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. Damn. So those you met fare no better. I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies. Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Julius could persuade him, though we need to persuade Julius first. Well, see enough. Julius, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from nearby houses, as most families kept rather some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other fugitives, or one of the afflicted for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it is ceruleum you need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. We will not accept your charity. If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Aye, everything will change. One of your comrades mentioned something along those lines. The ones that died. Heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Telephoroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its place. We'd identified the seat of the enemy's power, we realized. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the provincial legions to prepare for a combined assault on the Telephoroi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now! Say the word and we will bring you ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. So, did he agree to it?
Of course not.
No, he will not place Garlemald in debt to her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well. After all, many hands make light work. You lot are more trouble than you're worth. Once we are outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. Although this is hardly the solution we had in mind, it will have to suffice for the time being. Without our healing magics, there's little we can do for these people beyond offer words of encouragement. But this way we'll be able to offer them tangible assistance. Julius finds himself in the somewhat bizarre position of leading ambassadors of an enemy contingent on a salvage mission. We'll begin our search for ceruleum in Regio Urbanisma. The first location is Forum Solius, a park to the northwest of the station. You are to remain close at all times, and act only as ordered. Follow me. So this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. The houses were later built around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. The park was named after the founding father of the Empire, the great Solus Vosgalvus. Of course it was. Did we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? No, I've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the Machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. And while I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time, in case something has been overlooked. I see. Then with your permission, we will commence the search. I don't imagine there would be much need for Magitech in a park of all places. But then again, I wasn't raised in Garlemald. They may have uses for ceruleum that I've yet to consider. A cursory inspection of the wrecked Magitech armor confirms that the fuel canisters have long since been drained of ceruleum, as Julia said. Though rather small by Garlean standards, the structure is reminiscent of a merchant's stall. Perhaps it was built for children to play at a shopkeeper. There is nothing inside resembling Magitech or any other devices that would be fueled by ceruleum. Several points of interest are marked on the map of Forum Solius: the pond, children's play areas. To your knowledge, however, none would require the use of ceruleum. This, whatever it is, appears to have some sort of symbolic meaning related to the park. Even though the place is named after Solus, it doesn't seem to be a statue of him, well, at least not anymore. Maybe it was once a fountain, or somewhere the man himself used to sit. Not that it would matter, even if we knew, but I can't help wondering. Julius ignores you as he stares at the water in silence, as if searching for something he knows has gone and will never return. This is so sad. Hey, it's the children's it's the children's slide. The contraption is built in the style of Imperial War Machina, armed with a battery of weapons and capable of transforming into different configurations, but on closer inspection, it appears to be no more than a children's slide. It's you. Any luck? There's no sign of any ceruleum. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. I couldn't help noticing you gazing at the pond. Is something the matter? What? Yes, I mean, no, It's just I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over, so like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet when all was said and done every time. And every time we'd get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch our death walking around like that. The pond was heated. That sounds like there's ceruleum there. With a ceruleum-powered heater by chance? Suppose it must have been. Come to think of it, I remember seeing engineers changing out a tank beneath a hatch. But that was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. I can't see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. With the machinery most likely broken, the amount of filth in there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold, though. Julius, what are your thoughts on magic? The average Garlean would jump out of their skin if they saw it. The first has a few foreign signiferi and Medici, so it doesn't scare me. Then I take it you won't mind if I employ a little now. Alphino, as you have a knack for finding drywood, why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, a blast of verifier should do the trick. Leave it to me. Aren't they gonna get shocked? You're not planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. That tank isn't going to fetch itself. It's nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed ceruleum from a frozen lake, like how the tappers do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, and we have a way of warming ourselves up after. But that's insane! So fancy a tip. Little friendly competition might make things interesting. Last thing we need is you catching a cold. Step aside while I drink the pond dry. That way we'll find it in no time. That may be the stupidest thing I've heard in a while. Not saying something considering who my brother is. Dude, rude. Gods be good, it's cold. Perhaps we should have listened to Julius after all. You delve into the murky water but come up empty-handed. To add injury to insult, the icy wind on your damp clothing chills you to the bone. Damn. More chilly to the bone. Beneath the water, your fingers catch on what you think might be a handle. You open the hatchet and retrieve a ceruleum tank. But However, your grand discovery comes at a great personal cost as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and a rancid odor emanating from every ilm of your body. Julius will doubtless feel compelled to pinch his nose shut when you deliver to him your prize. Did you find anything? I hope you did. I like how we just left LSA there. LSA. There's still some ceruleum left. The fire's still not ready. Hold on. I'll give Alphino a hand. Call me an Oldon, because by fire am I reborn. And my clothes are mostly dry now, too. I appreciate you recovering the ceruleum, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated, in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still an envoy deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, he would be most displeased. Your concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. Julius, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire awarded an estate. We lived well, better than many. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything. It was everything you could imagine and so much more. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat and sitting down for a hot meal with family. Visiting friends and relatives. Receiving the same welcome, knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the street, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sounds of laughter and song, of happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, in that brief respite, the ice would melt and the forgotten grass make its triumphant return. Gray clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we'd climb to the top of the tallest building we could find to watch the sunrise. Never again, those rooftops are rubble, those friends dead, and those memories. If I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon our chance will come. We just need to hold on a little longer. Well, at least my clothes are finally dry, though they could still do with a proper wash. Owing to the wealth of experience I've accrued in gathering firewood, I was able to provide Julius with some basic pointers on the subject. Thought it might help to further build a rapport, to distract him from his other concerns. All right, now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search, just outside the park. Everything was built on an enormous scale, and with thick, cleanly cut stone, much like Amarot. Given what we know, such similarities are no coincidence. The War Machina appear to be patrolling the area of its own volition. I wonder whether it's simply following its original orders, or if it now serves the Telephoroi. As you can see, this place is littered with the remnants of various types of War Machina. While my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks from the less damaged units, those that took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time, that time being now. Rather than pry them apart piece by piece, it would be quicker to remove the outer casing using compact explosives. With luck, we'll gain access to the tanks without rupturing them. Though the force generated by these devices is relatively weak, I would advise you to stand well clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before even bothering, though, you should check the Machina's ceruleum gauge to see if there is any left. It should still prove an accurate reading, even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. Understood. Let's get to work. According to the ceruleum gauge, the unit's fuel tank is empty. Nope. It's broken again? It's half full. Okay, good. You've done it again. Truly, luck is on your side. With this, we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters. It's time we headed back. Wait here while I go and see how LSA and Alphino are faring.
やっと監視役が離れたか。大丈夫か？
Yo, Thancred!
おっと、姿は探さなくていい。そのまま知らぬ顔で聞いてくれ。
Yo!
お前たちが帝国兵とキャンプブロークングラスを出た後、ルキアから偵察隊に連絡があってな。
Okay.
俺たちはすぐに追跡を開始。お前たちがテルティウム駅に入ったのを確認している。その後、出てきたアルフィノとアリゼに魔導仕掛けの装置が付けられていることも確認。おおよそ状況は察した。
Yo.
その上でいくつか聞かせてくれ。駅にいる連中は何者だ？何を目的にしている？なるほど。第一軍団長と来たか。目的は第10軍団の連れてくる増援と合流し、旧魔道場 バブイルの塔を自力で制圧することだな。
Interesting. Interesting. Thancred being sneaky sneak.
もろもろ了解した。だとしたら打つ手がないでもない。今しがた派遣団の方にある報告が入ってな。それを交渉材料にできる可能性が高いだろう。
Like what?
ひとまずお前はお前自身とアルフィノたちの命を守ることを最優先にしてくれ。相手の要求は基本的に飲んでくれていい。
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that.
頼んだぞ。それじゃまた後でだ。
Thancred too good, man. Thancred too good. But we know how now.
待たせたな。
あちこち探してみたんだけど収穫なしよ。悔しいけどあなたが見つけた分でおしまいね。
Cause I'm lucky. Cause I'm the warrior of light.
さほど期待してたわけじゃないが、いよいよ厳しいか。ともかく今回の捜索はここまでだ。駅へ戻るぞ。
ああ、よく戻ったな。聞いたぞ。青林水を探させてたんだってな。
Yeah, we found some.
で、収穫はどうだった？
少しはな。こいつらがよく働いてくれたから。
やばい連中だって話だったけど、案外普通なんだな。
It's interesting what...
でもよかったよ。少しでも暖かくできそうで。正直今晩を超えられるかどうかってやつもいるからな。
Right.
青林水が見つかったのか。
This voice, though. Impactful.
クインテス様。
ならば魔導兵器の燃料に回しておけ。
ですが、これは拠点を温めるために。
Oh gosh.
次の作戦が決まった。
Oh?
しばしこの者らと話をする。だが至る所に我らの目があることを忘れるな。その場でおとなしく待機せよ。
I don't know what they think they can do. Oh, I'll say.
作戦って何でしょうね。
Are they gonna...
わからない。魔導兵器にしても今使うつもりなのか、第10軍団と合流した後の備えなのか、どうしたら彼らを暖かい場所へと返せるのだろう。ユルスが語った冬の街並みや夏の草原のような場所に。
話は終わったの？
アルフィノとアリゼを人質として派遣団に物資の譲渡と撤退を促すことが決まった。
Oh my gosh.
取引が済むまで二人には別の場所に移動してもらう。
No!
ああ、もうどうしてそうなっちゃうわけ？
派遣団の物資にも限りがある。ひとときそれでしのげてもいつかは君たちが。
Well, he doesn't want to. Don't you dare!
アルフィノたちの命を守ることを最優先にしてくれ。相手の要求は基本的に飲んでくれていい。
Everything will be fine. Will be alright. Have faith. They better not touch. I don't want to stop playing.
連れて行け。
Then don't stop. No, I have to end. My back is hurting. Aww. Alphano and LSA will be fine, providing they don't resist. Do not resist. Does it look like they're gonna resist?
I said, welcome to my world.